All right, everybody, and welcome to the late edition of the 9 Years podcast. This does not mean that we are doing this after hours. We're not doing this after the watershed on live TV at 3 o'clock in the morning. It just means that we're a little bit late arriving this week. Apologies for that. That is all my fault. I have been so busy, just haven't had time to squeeze it in. But fortunately, now we are going to get a podcast out and recorded. I am Nick Draper. I'm joined by the face of the BBC Sport website, Mr. Stuart Deacons. I'm tripping all over my words because I'm that tired. And Stuart's Friday the 13th, and I'm worried about the next 45 minutes to an hour because of my horrendous Wi-Fi and whether it's going to sustain what we're going to do today. But, touch wood, we've had our wobble already. Hopefully from here on in, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, I forgot it's Friday the 13th. It seems to be... I don't know if it's me or just a best coincidence, but we seem to have a lot of Friday the 13th over the last, I don't know, it feels like this year's, well, it might as well been Friday the 13th, might as well have been Groundhog Day.
Yes, Friday the 13th, 2020 might work in inverse proportion because 2020 has been so horrendous that on a traditionally bad luck day, things might turn out better. Let's hope that happens on the podcast for us this week. Well, with everything else going on, with our fixtures cancelled because of an outbreak of COVID in the squad, we've got no football to discuss, unfortunately. We had a FA Cup tie at Barrow postponed. It has been rearranged. We will talk more on this on a short corner for patrons coming up and then later for everyone. And we're going to have a bit of fixture congestion going forward as well because the Wigan fixture scheduled for this Saturday also cancelled. And I'm not sure, that's not been rearranged yet, has it, Stu? I don't know.
No, hasn't been rearranged.
Okay. Latest news I see as well that a home game with Peterborough midweek has been moved to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, also, I think a lot of midweek games now at 6 o'clock is becoming a normal sort of kick-off time. Our game against Gillingham Tuesday week is also a 6 o'clock kick-off.
Which makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised we didn't do that we moved the whole game forward a little bit, didn't we?
7 o'clock game, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we'd have done that more often. I know that Middlesbrough did this a couple of times last season, which, considering the distances they have to travel or teams have to travel to get to them, seems to make sense. But anyway, as I say, no football to talk about. Don't worry, listeners. We have a podcast to bring to you. We thought this week we would trawl through YouTube to find some highlights of some classic Wimbledon games and do some watch-alongs with them. Now, we couldn't find extended highlights to last a whole podcast, so we've got a couple of steps through. We will commentate along with the video that we are watching, and you can join us. We'll share the links on our website and on Twitter, and you can press play at the same time as we do and watch along with us. We'll get to those and which games we're doing shortly, but first of all, let's get these out of the way. Shout out and a call out, Stu. Shout out is a bit of a call out at the same time because lots of congratulations to Scotland for qualifying for international tournament for the first time in 22 years. 98 World Cup, I remember. I think they played the opening game against Brazil and lost 2-1.
Yeah, that's your luck, isn't it? You get through to a World Cup final and we get one of the best teams in the world. But then it's the World Cup finals. That's what you should expect.
Well, yes, but you say this, and yes, we're very happy, Scotland. Well done, Scotland. We know that in footballing terms, we hate each other in England and Scotland, but well done for qualifying for the first time in 22 years. However, Stu, I do have to make the point. So when I woke up this morning on Friday the 13th, I had the radio on just as I was raising myself to get out of bed. And all they were talking about, literally all they were talking about was Scotland. Getting loads of people talking about the fact that Scotland had gone through, the magnificent penalty save, I think, from David Marshall at the end, and people are talking about it loads. What's being lost in all of this is the fact that the European Championships have been expanded to 24 teams. So in reality, to not qualify is absolutely horrendous. And I'm going to read a list of names, Stu, that Scotland have beaten to qualification. And you'll soon realise this achievement is achievement in inverted commas because you've beaten Montenegro, Luxembourg, Lithuania, Estonia, Gibraltar, Azerbaijan, Faroe Islands, Malta, Slovenia, Latvia, Albania, Andorra, Moldova, Cyprus, Kazakhstan, San Marino, Armenia, Liechtenstein. You should be qualifying ahead of all these teams, with all due respect. It's an achievement, but it also shows again that the European Championships, as they expanded it to 24 teams, which is a 50% increase, has once again shown it's devalued the competition, because really it's just a lot of pointless games now that have been added to the tournament finals that have got no bearing on anything. All becomes very messy with third place teams in groups qualifying. I hate it. And this is what I mean, Stu. Less is more. Football works in the opposite. More is more. And we talk about oversaturation. It's just too much. Killing the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. Years ago, when you got to the European finals, you were the best of a small group. You'd done well to get through your group. With the more qualification now as well, I think it just devalues the group stages. It doesn't make it enjoyable. I actually, be truthful, I forgot that we were in Scotland. Scotland would be into our group. It's a weird one, because initially I was thinking there's really no point at this European finals because no fans going to be allowed in, or it's going to be moved. We might have potential hope that we have something in the summer. But do we? I suppose if you're looking at it in a moment, the amount of games that are coming up, how competitive are these finals going to be in June, when all these players have played ridiculous amounts of games through it? I just think it's something we could do a summer break, but that's me being Scrooge, I think.
No, I agree with you. And that was a shout out, believe it or not, for Scotland, which turned into a call out. But another call out against you. I'm not really watching football. I'm not watching football at the moment, but I was alerted to the fact that England played Ireland, which is an incredible fixture to be happening in the first place. I know it happened a few years ago at Wembley, but the fixture's always been a bit of a troublesome one, especially going back to Lansdowne Road in the mid-90s. So it's great that we're playing each other. However, why the hell are England playing in blue at home, forcing Ireland to play in white? That is, again, another indication of what football's become, where it was a marketing opportunity to sell another shirt. A shirt, by the way, which I saw and I'm going to swear, so if you've got sensitive ears or younger listeners listening, turn away now. It's fucking awful. It is horrendous. I hate it. I am becoming more and more disillusioned with every day with all these little things about football that they're doing. It's just become a means to try and sell things to us.
Yeah, Joe, I didn't watch the game live because I just can't. I think I'm very much similar to you. I know you're not watching games, but I'm struggling to watch games that are live just because there's no atmosphere. I watched the highlights, and it might as well have been at a training ground. It's so sad in a way. You've got Harry Maguire, who's had difficult times off the pitch. Come back, scored a goal. But why are we playing a game at Wembley? I don't get it. Why are we playing a behind closed doors at a ground that holds 80,000+ people? It just doesn't make sense to me. I did see the kit. I did laugh straight away because I knew you'd pick up on that. I was like, what the hell? But then if we look at it in the Football League, that's happened the other week when QPR wore a new strip to celebrate, check this out, to celebrate finishing second in a league table many, many years ago. They celebrated finishing second with a new kit. Come on, I just don't. All we're doing now is just marketing these things to get people to spend more money on kits. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. It's ridiculous now. And for someone who has a young child thinking, how the hell am I going to be able to afford these kits when he gets older? I am in a way thankful that Wimbledon do have 2 years on their kits. Potentially, we might look at having longer. Because it's crazy, money being spent on these kits is ridiculous.
I'd also do away with a third kit. No need for teams to have more than 2 kits. But anyway, we'll come back to that conversation another day. Right, I'm excited about this, Stu. Watch along. We're going to watch along 2 sets of highlights. The links to both games are on our website, 9yrspodcast.org. And when we say play, you can press play at the same time and follow along with us. It might mean having to pause this podcast and what have you, whatever you need to do. If you're free to have a laptop handy to watch at the same time, if you're listening along on YouTube, this should work quite nicely. And Stu, which we've picked 2 games. They are random picks, but they're games that are historically significant for different reasons. Should we start with the shorter set of highlights first and then move on to the main event in a sort of wrestling style, get warmed up and then go in for the big one second?
Can do. Yeah, let me just let me quickly get that link and I will start. Yes, I will. So this one is going to be our win of Rochdale. We've done a nice little link, didn't we? We thought it was a good game. Also, they had crowds at that point. How lucky are we? And yeah, definitely.
An exciting game to watch along. So click on your YouTube link on the website or on Twitter now to get that set of highlights up. And we're going to watch this in its duration, aren't we? It's 10 minutes and 55 seconds.
Yes.
And Stu, if you're ready, we'll just get straight into it. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and play. And we can see the teams.
Days. Look at that. They got flags. Do you think we'd do that at Plough Lane?
Are they ball boys, Stu? Because I know how much you like these ball boys.
Ball boys in walkout jackets. They look like I don't know. We can't. It's so sad actually. I want to go back now, but we won't. But did you notice the way that some kids were waving the flag enthusiastically? And I was thinking, Dad, why did you get me doing this?
Yeah. Oh yes, so, always the case.
So we noticed actually there's no. Where's the team lineup? Like
no straight. Yep. No graphic, just straight into the action. But did you notice the goalkeeper? Was that a goal kick? Because the ball was moving. I couldn't understand if that was allowed.
No, to be truthful, I was just looking at the squad numbers, thinking, who the hell? So we got 41. Was that for Levy? Did he make appearance?
It might have been. Oh, is that the first goal? Oh my word!
The first goal.
What's gone on there with the marking? Do we get replays on this?
I don't know. We'll soon find out. I would have thought so for 10 minutes worth of.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's a bad goal. To be fair, I think from this night they were all bad goals, weren't they? But that's literally, yeah, it's one of those crosses into no man's land, isn't it?
So that is just, just no one takes charge of that situation, and we should say, ladies again. Sorry, listeners. This is what 2019 must have been.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, so we've obviously got Sir Aaron Ramsdale there. He's now been knighted officially. So yeah,
I've got a question because I've seen Anthony Hartigan on the pitch there.
Yes,
and I'll come back to him in a second because these highlights are going to move quite quickly. This Rob McDonald here on the left. Shoot!
Yeah, Anthony Wordsworth. I don't think has got a club yet. That's crazy, isn't it?
That is insane, especially when you look at the goals he scored for us and the quality he possesses. And that volley there, which came back off the post, not many players in the squad would have been able to do that.
Definitely. Who's the 38 there? Is that McLaughlin?
Is that McLaughlin? I think it's McLaughlin.
Is that McLaughlin? That is. Yeah. I think it is actually because he's in the right back area. But that's actually quite interesting. Look at that because he looks a lot stockier in that.
He does, yeah.
You know what I mean? But so I think sometimes. It's interesting looking back a season ago because you can probably see the development in there, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, because I thought he was on his way out, but this season he's come on leaps and bounds.
Definitely.
Here's Wordsworth again. Keeper should do better there.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It's Joe Pickett equalising.
Yeah. For Levy, take a picture of that one. That's for Levy. We did have him on loan, believe it or not. Young Toby Civic there coming over.
Oh yeah, Steve said in there. But that's about Wordsworth again. Wordsworth with the little pass into the box. Pickett turns, shoots low, but should the keeper? It's not travelling that fast. So I think the keeper should get down to that.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does it with the eyes, doesn't he? Because normally when a player comes in on that angle, they're going to go across the goals. True. So I think keepers sometimes are already edging their way over a little bit. So, yeah, I think we give credit to Joe Pickett. We have to remember also at this time, this is when, if we talk about near post goals, there you are. There's another one there, isn't it?
2-1 Rochdale. And what's that, 25 yards out, left foot?
Yeah, I know it's very quick. I know we should be critical of Sir Aaron Ramsdale, but near stick. His standards.
Is that the same situation though? Was he looking to go far post and he's gone? I don't know.
He's a bit far over, isn't he? It looks like it's pretty. It looks like it's cold up north. From what I can see, that looks like snow.
February in Rochdale? Surely not.
We have to remember also at this time. This is when we were stacking up the wins. That's a great touch, isn't it?
Should score. I'm not being harsh, Joe. Sorry if it sounds like I am. Joe Pickett, it's a great touch. Similar to the one, where was he scored the other week where he took it down? And
I mean, it was someplace in Buckinghamshire.
That's it. Similar to that, isn't it? But should he not score there? Straight at the keeper.
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously we now look at this. What date was this? This was February 2019. Would that be right?
Yeah.
So a year and a half ago. Yeah. So a year and a half ago. It's actually good watching back these games. One's because there's actually fans in the ground. It's quite nice to see people. And two, you can just see development of players, can't you, as well? Oh.
What's he claiming for?
Over the line, I think.
I can't. That's Rod McDonald trying to claim it.
Or a handball. Let's have a look. One of the two.
Well, it's definitely handball because it's the keeper that saves it.
Are they? I think he's trying to claim one over the line. The keeper was behind the line, wasn't he?
He was. But it's unlikely with us scoring from set pieces. But then, are we going to here? Do we get there?
This is a proper scramble.
Everyone on the 6-yard box just piling in, trying to get the ball over the line.
Referee is always going to give that as an easy out. He's never going to. Yeah. That's all he's ever going to do, isn't he? Oh, the linesman come over as well.
The linesman were not happy with the bundle.
That's tame, though, isn't it?
There's nothing. There's no foul there. I don't know why he stopped the preferred play there. Oh, second half.
That's tame compared to what we're going to watch later. That's tame.
Yes.
So where are we now? It's 2-1 to Rochdale, isn't it?
2-1 to Rochdale at half time. And
why have we not got scores up on the top left hand corner? Come on.
Who's this extended highlights from? It's from Arden. It's our channel, but with Rochdale commentary.
Yeah, I think it's the official I Follow feed. I actually noticed. It's interesting. Actually, I noticed on. I don't know if you've got the new EFL app. That's a great finish. Again, where Piggs does it, doesn't he, Joe Figure?
Toby Sibbett with a cross getting down the right and then overlapping on the right. What's he right? Dead centre of the goal. Pickett is there where he scores.
Yeah.
Wordsworth again.
Where is Toby Sibbett now? He went up to Hearts, didn't he? But they got relegated.
He's gone to Lithuania or something like that. He's gone abroad, hasn't he?
I think you're right, actually.
For leave there. Did we go ahead again? Did we go 3-2 up and they put us back?
I think so. I think we might have. No, this actually that defence that was a mistake, wasn't it, from memory?
Ooh, good save, Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah, it's sometimes I think going back then we sometimes just our defenders went into no man's land sometimes, and then left them with the ball through. So that was a common thing. Scott Wagstaff as well. Out of Forest Green, which just seems such a waste. But
got no energy soon. Not eating meat. Just pass out. Oh yes.
Yeah. Joe, to be fair, we've scored some really good goals in this. Anthony Wordsworth. Do you remember we were talking about slides? Sliding. There we are. there's how not to do it. And they're giving the home fans abuse there. I like that.
And they're giving some back, in fairness to him. But what a touch from Piggott.
Yeah.
Back heel, runs on, and then he's always going to... He's such a good play, such quality, Anthony Wordsworth.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, you've got to look at Piggott's had a hand in all these goals.
Yeah.
So, we know he got a hat-trick to spoil it for fans who don't know the score. But, he's had a hand in all the goals.
Yeah.
That's
again,
this is where Rob McDonald's gone into. This is sometimes when you're playing in areas you shouldn't have to play in. Yeah.
And he's beaten Will too easily before getting the shot away.
There's Henderson, who's gone to Moneybags, Salford.
And Matheson, who went to... Where did he end up? Did he go to Bolton? He went higher up the period than that.
Went to Wolves, didn't he?
That's right. Why was he Bolton?
They loaned him back.
Right.
To be fair, he's not Portuguese, so I don't know why he went to Wolves. Talking about kits, did you see that they were saying that Wolves have a red or maroon third kit this season?
Yes, just like Portugal.
Portugal, yeah. So this game is like end to end, isn't it?
This is. There's not room for breath really because it's just two teams going for it.
Who was a 10 over there? Oh.
Penalty. Penalty, as I called on Twitter that night. I said it was coming.
Well,
injury time, Piggott winner, I said.
That's one of those where the first one isn't enough. But the second one, it's like an accumulation, isn't it? It's like the first one was a bit iffy. The second one definitely. You're
definitely. So who do you mean the number 10? The number 10 for us or for them?
For us.
Who was number 10
I'm trying to think. I can't. Maybe I didn't see 10.
Can't think. Yeah, Pigott puts that penalty away. Injury time.
The 10 is Jake Jervis.
Oh, how did you forget?
Well, that's the closest Jake Jervis probably got 20 fans. Well, yes, let's leave that one alone.
Yes. There he is, Jake Jervis. Yes, indeed, of course. How did we forget Jake Jervis?
All the people that had number 10 shirts. It's not been a successful shirt, has it, really?
We should do a game where you have to try and remember who wore that number.
Yeah. I'm doing well, yeah, I can see.
I was going to say, I might not be these players this week. And that was it. Kick off, full time, done. Happy days. Yeah. That flew past. That was a very quick 11 minutes.
It did, didn't it? That was actually really good to watch that back, wasn't it? Obviously, Wally Downs, manager at the time, was Ben Hodges. So,
of course.
I can't remember what League Tail looked like after that, but obviously Rochdale were down there as well, weren't they, at that time? Wasn't that when they had the FA Cup run, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was... Yeah, well, that was quite... It's quite good looking back, wasn't it, in a way?
Always good to look back, but it was a fun game. It showed you that two teams going... Don't forget, back in that season, and in fact for a few seasons, our games were very tight affairs. There wasn't a great amount of goals, not a lot of end-to-end sort of games. So that stood out for the time. And two teams just prepared to go for it. Rochdale were always very open. And of course, I think, wasn't it the following season when we didn't win for the first 8 months or something? And then we beat Rochdale 3-2 with 3-0 up early, and they almost got back into it. So it's always good to play them. They play good football. They're open side. So we look forward to playing them again soon. Yeah,
definitely. I've been doing, obviously, because we've got a mad, potentially 6 games in 13 or 14 days coming up, which is just ridiculous. And we'll talk about that another time. But I was just doing some preparation for our Back to Plough Lane live, and I did go back to the last, the 3-2 game, and that was an interesting game. Of course, we didn't then play them. We didn't play them away last season because of COVID. We were just playing them in late March. But the 3-2 game is a really good game. And you remember at that time we did try and throw away from a 3-0 lead, didn't we? So, but we tend to have decent games with Rochdale. We've got a very good record against them as well.
Yes.
So let's hope. Thankfully, we start our marathon of games against them. But yeah. Loads and loads of games of football. Normally, we'd love watching football, but...
Yes. I'm just remembering that Rochdale was cancelled because of COVID last year, and as was Lincoln away, which I was gutted about, the highlights of the fixture calendar. Hopefully, we'll get there this season. Anyway, should we move on to the next one?
Definitely, I've just loaded up.
The main event is our FA Cup 4th round replay victory against Manchester United from February the 4th, 1997. You may well remember this. A future AFC Wimbledon player scored the winning goal, but we'll get onto that, won't we? So, Stu, we've got it up. We will.
I'll let you dig a hole.
We will have it up watching this. Right. So, after 3, we'll press play. 3.
And we're going to start we're going to do right from the start, aren't we?
Right from the start, but we might skip ahead.
You've all got an absolute classic start in this. So yeah, let's do this. So yeah,
let's go. So 3, 2, 1, play. And we are coming into the opening titles of BBC Sports Night. Nice bit of triple jump. Steffi Graf there. Cricket. I don't know what cricket's about. Is that Damon Hill?
Yeah.
Viali. Cantona.
Gianluca Viali.
And
I don't speak Italian.
Nice Jamaican accent there. And we're starting off with what looks like highlights of Woking at Highfield, definitely Highfield Road.
Yeah, Highfield Road. That's a classic round, isn't it?
Oh, so these are the replays from the first. So that's Robbie Earle after getting the equaliser in the first game because they'd scored in the 89th minute. I think Paul Scholes.
I remember that goal very well. I literally was at the front of that away section. They put you in the corner.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to fall over the little wall there, but it was a little wall. Gary Lineker, age 10.
Gary Lineker and I don't want to skip ahead now because I'm looking at the Woking players looking very
Jeff
happy.
Chappell managing Woking at a time, isn't it?
Of course.
Can we recognise any of those players in there? Probably not.
I recognise that Kingfield. I recognise the stand behind the goal from our CCL and Surrey Senior Cup games.
Oh, look at that tight Sellers Park. Literally had to squeeze through that door.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Bayo playing at that time? Like,
He's not getting through that door. He's not getting through that door.
Vorsky there.
Yeah. And then
should we watch the Woking little highlight? I think it's only a little number of highlights, isn't it, before it?
I don't even think there's that. I think we're first, you know.
Well, we should.
I think George Graham and then what looks like Glenn Hoddle. Oh, I see. So it's cut straight to Gary Lineker.
Someone's done very well there.
They've done well there. Nice tie, Gary. I've got a tablecloth just like it.
Looks too big for him.
Here they go, Selhurst Park. Full capacity crowd, mostly of Manchester United fans, including somebody whose name will remain nameless, who was in Selhurst Park that evening in the main stand supporting Manchester United. Say no more.
Look at that team.
4-3-3.
Yeah, well, 4-3, one in behind the Koku. I never... Koku had all that pace, but we had such a strong lineup, didn't we? That was the thing, trying to find a place for him.
Don't you love the fact that Manchester United, that's a full-strength team, basically? There's no Scholes, but Beckham, Keane, Giggs, Probosky, Cantona, Cole. How good is that side?
The fullbacks, Gary Neville and Dennis Irwin. Probably Dennis Irwin, one of the most underrated fullbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some team. I think maybe Johnson and Paddister's probably a little bit... Johnson wasn't... If you looked at the weakness there, it was Johnson as one of the centre-halves. But that's being very picky of a weakness on that side, isn't it?
I'm just looking at Cantona and Keane in the same team, and Cantona is the captain. Just always naturally assume that Roy Keane would be captain for Manchester United, but
yeah, I think Roy Keane basically. I think with Roy Keane, he probably just go to Cantona, let him have it. Cantona's never give it away, is he?
Very true.
Joking here in that really weird Wimbledon kit. I actually like this kit. I actually really like.
I'm loving everything about this. I'm saying so. We saw the teams just going up there, but everything about this I love. I love the kit. I love the pitch. Look how dodgy the pitch is. I love the atmosphere. I love the commentary. Everything about this is how football should be.
Barry Davis was great. Vinny with I was going to say a long throw then. Dylan Tess's already a long throw. But yeah.
Who's that? Koku back to Steve Ball, you know.
Vinny Jones chucking in the ball from wide right.
Yeah, no, not normally where you'd expect to see him, but then I think Leonardson's in position to show him how to do it, I think.
Yes, I think Leonardson returned for the... the offside. It was offside in the end, so...
Oh, it's lucky it's offside. Is it, though?
His arm.
His VAR judges.
His arm's
offside. Oof, what a chance it would have been. We went for 3 up front for this one. We had Gale, Holsworth, and Koku all starting.
Yeah. I think, we realised this was a chance. So home, midweek, had to be decided. Is that right? It had to be decided on a night? Was that right? Yeah. The FA Cup that time? Yeah.
Replay, yeah. Only one replay by this point. Vinnie Jones going sliding in there.
Oh, that was a good chance in the end, wasn't it?
Good ball in from Giggs, as you'd expect, I suppose.
Yeah, that's such quality, didn't they? That was the thing. So,
that's a penalty.
That's a push. VAR. Where's VAR?
It's Alan Gimble just not even slightly nudging him out of the way there. They're back in again. Gary Neville getting forward.
Gary Neville, when everyone didn't really like him with the curtains.
With the hair, with the long hair. But you know what? How many tackles did we miss there? And then how big a gap was there that he... I mean, if that had been any other player, I think we're looking at a goal when it comes to the final shot.
Yeah, to be fair, Leonardson was the one. It was Kimball and Leonardson. Chrissy Perry.
Chris Perry, that tackle. Wow. What a player.
It was, wasn't it? And the weak link in Johnson. What's that weak link? Oh,
what a ball.
Leonardson How mad was that team? We had two players that would run into a box from midfield in Leonardo and Robbie Earl.
Yeah.
You do well to get one in your team, let alone having two in your team.
And then you send it forward, putting in a ball like that. Oh.
Yeah. Bolesworth be a bit quicker.
Mm.
Yeah. Andy Cole, and of course Andy Cole was, everyone's got dodgy haircuts. It's really mad, isn't it? Looking back nearly 23 years ago.
You say that, Poborski then takes the corner as if to echo the point.
I can't say what we used to call Poborski. Look
at the gap. Look at that break from the corner. Look at the space. And he's done him.
But it isn't it? It's like Schmeichel was so good. You took that extra touch and he was out before, Yeah, he wasn't exactly small, was he? Do you know what I mean? He was a big goalkeeper, but he was actually reasonably quick. Although he's flat out.
He's knocked himself out in the process. It's that Irwin he's taken on, so he's gone one side, beaten Irwin. But
if he looks up, it's just that touch. As soon as he takes that touch,
I
actually wondered if that was going in. It hit his head, didn't it? So I actually wondered if that was actually going in the top corner.
And then another chance. Good game, this.
A lot of chances for us at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of chances.
That's woeful from... That's not Chris Perry's strong point. There he is.
Ferguson. I just called him Eric Ferguson.
Eric Ferguson.
Just...
And Mick Jagger.
Just wondering why he was sitting in the stand. Anyone who knows that stand, you didn't want to sit in them seats.
No, maybe it was just warmer.
Beckham was just effortless sometimes, wasn't he, with that?
And look at Cantona there taking on Cunningham. Shrugging him off.
Yeah.
So good, Cantona.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Cantona wasn't really known. You don't remember Cantona for his heading goals or stuff like that, but he's popping up in the box every time now, isn't he? That was an easy yesterday, wasn't it, really, for that? The second half. Look at the graphics. How is Vinny ever thinking he's getting away with that as a free kick? His ball is moving. Just
Vinny being Vinny, I think.
And also, you don't want... Because obviously Kimball's going to take this, which is... You don't... Kimball would do this every time, although, to be fair, Schmeichel's picked up. Really.
Schmeichel just really on it, and then look at the gap again. So much space in this game.
To be fair, the referee's quicker to the ball than we were.
Ooh,
anyone behind that goal is basically smacked straight in the face, isn't it?
How fast was that travelling?
Yeah.
When he strikes it.
See what I mean by the referee? The referee was actually closer than we were.
Yeah. See, he would have saved it. If it had been lower, Sully would have saved it.
Yeah. It was just the pace that it was going at, wasn't it? That was the thing.
Yeah. It's proper tight tussle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this what? I think this is the goal.
High tech sports. Look at that for a sponsorship.
You forget these.
I think I did have a pair of high techs. I don't think I should be admitting that. A long throw.
I did. Oh, straight from the long throw. Who was it? Was it Jeff Norcott telling us talking about Dean Holsworth and the fact his heading ability was sort of overlooked, really? He was actually pretty decent in the air.
Yeah, he was. I'm trying to think headed goals from Wimbledon. I can't remember loads of... To be fair, Holsworth scored quite a few goals, didn't he? But he was...
Yeah.
That's good covering in the end, isn't it? I was going to say, why is he not picking it up? But I suppose the back pass rule wasn't...
Oh, God, yeah, no, the back pass rule had been in for a good few years by this point.
Yeah, you sort of think... Sometimes when you watch older football, they just pick the ball up and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, that's...
Got away with that. Chris Perry again.
Yeah. Can you just notice every time United attack, the whole ground sound? Yeah. It feels like it's an away game. I know we've said that many times at Selhurst.
It's just Man United fans. Away from home, they travel and they're loud. Yeah. Oh, what a save.
It's a mad save, isn't it? I actually forgot about that save. It's a mad save.
That's so good. He has to get down low so quick. It's Pallister's header. Please show that again.
They must do. Oh, again, that would be handball nowadays.
Yeah, VAR would have given that.
That would be handball. Look at those collars on that kit, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, do you know what? It is a very good save. It's strong wrist.
You know, you're talking about the kits and stuff like that. It's just mad in terms of people have actually got mud on their faces, and you don't do mud in, like, you know.
I know.
People get upset if there's a divot on the pitch, let alone a bit of mud on there. Do you know what I mean? So, another long throw from Vinny.
No, he's gone short. And then he's back to Cunningham. Here we go. No pressure. Bullet header.
What you notice when you look back at that goal, actually, you notice how easily we overloaded on the throw-in. Yeah, 2 against 1 there, easy. And then if you look at the cross, there was literally 3 players in the 6-yard area.
Yeah. And then over Johnson.
It's 3 against 3. Like sometimes people struggle getting anyone in the area, don't they? Let alone getting 3 in the actual penalty. 6-yard area to get a header.
6-yard box to get the header, and keeper had no chance.
Nah, but they're must. God, Brian. Oh,
what a shank!
Brian McClare. That's a name from the past. Crikey, I thought he retired by then.
I can't believe that at this point in time, when they're chasing the game, Brian McClare is their go-to person. With all due respect to Brian McClare, but at the twilight of his career,
Beckham should have done better from there. Really,
you expect more from him, yeah. Johnson, not Johnson. I'm sorry, Barry.
Was he Danish? Was that right?
Was he Norwegian?
I was close. Yeah, is that way?
I thought he was. He's definitely Scandinavian. Oh, look, triple sub. I'm sure that wasn't a triple sub. I think that's just the highlights, the way they've done it. Brian McAllister comes on. Oh, dear.
I'm guessing by the whistles, this is late on.
It's got to be towards the end of it. So these are quite.
Yeah. All the Man United fans are trying their best to leave.
It doesn't look like many people are leaving, to be fair.
Make sure Canada don't get too close to that stand.
Yeah. Yeah. Memories of that one.
That would have been after. Would that have been?
He didn't.
It was 96, wasn't it? Because we were at Newcastle away that night when Canada decided to enter the crowd earlier.
Yeah.
That is actually a massive chance, isn't it?
Yeah, in that time of the game to finish it. And we still have the excitement still to come.
Yes, of course.
Brian McClare, here you go, dribbling.
I know. It didn't say who their subs were, did it?
It did. It flashed up very quickly, but it was very brief. And they get a corner out of that? I'm not sure about that.
No. But then again, Canada are so good in the air. Brian McAllister, Scottish international.
Yeah, it was indeed.
With the curtains. Everyone had
drinking
curtains
in the
didn't
atmosphere. They all did back in those days. He knew immediately, but at the time I didn't. I didn't know immediately.
No,
he did.
I didn't. I did. My heart sung. Thing is, it's really good defending in this because everyone, as soon as the ball comes out, all the women players come out. Like if you look, all come out and leave him in there.
Yeah, he's definitely offside. There's no doubt about that.
And we were so well drilled. We were. Obviously Terry Burton behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Michael being a goalkeeper doesn't move, does he? But yeah, I remember that. My heart sunk because I thought he scored that, and I was like, "Oh, the days! How can we let a goalkeeper score a goal?"
It's almost like retribution for what happened in the first game with the late equaliser for us, and it was like them getting their own back. But I don't remember anything happening after that.
No,
but obviously it did. Oh no! Oh, he's not. It's Man United. If that had been at Old Trafford, he'd have given that.
Well, it doesn't make any difference, does it? They got penalties wherever they went. That does.
True.
That does. I think, to be fair, we probably got away with 2 penalties.
Yeah, the first half one, definitely, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think we knew at this point if Man United scored, they probably would go on to win the tie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think that was the key thing, wasn't it?
Awful delivery. Who's that?
Here's a bit. That has to be it now, doesn't it, surely? Graham Poll.
Yeah.
Famously sent somebody off for 3 yellow cards.
3 yellow cards.
Don't think he's ever lived that down. He wasn't a bad referee, wasn't it? That was a day before referees. I think he was the first referee that people noticed because he was a bit bit cocky, wasn't he?
Yes.
I don't think he's nothing compared to now referees.
I don't even know who today's referees
They
are.
are Terry Burton in there
with the dodgy hair,
curtains. God, that's a great game. That's flown by, isn't it? That's absolutely flown by.
Blimey, yeah.
The red badge on the goalkeeper.
On the goal, I know. I could never work that one out.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
And there's Ferguson not looking too happy.
Really clapping the corner Wimbledon fans.
Yeah, that's quite a famous piece of video, that. Wow.
Nowadays, no one has mud on their tops. No one has mud on their goalkeepers.
There's no mud. I know. This is what football needs, more mud.
25,000. 25,000. Do you know what? That was the best thing about Stellus, the fact the tunnel was in the corner.
Yeah. And they'd have to walk all the way in front of the home fans, yeah.
Yeah. They're joking it.
Joking here, doing his post-match. And
that was quite good. I think we ended there. I don't want this till the post-match, do we?
No, I don't think we will. But just a nice trip back down memory lane to when football was better. It really was. Look at that. Kits, mud, floodlights, replays in the FA Cup, actual meaningful games. First choice Manchester United 11, not putting out the reserves for the FA Cup or anything like that, treating it seriously. Missed those days.
It's weird, isn't it? Like the FA Cup, obviously this weekend, we still got to play Barrow, haven't we? But a lot of games went to extra time and penalties. I don't know if I enjoyed it. I don't think I really did. There's some good games. I watched the Torquay Crawley game.
Oh yeah.
But you just can't help thinking that players at the moment don't want to be having extra time. It's just
no, God no.
But I know the FA Cup's got to be. I think the FA Cup this year is not as important financially. It's not as attractive. And then they give us Barrow. Barrow on a Thursday night. Barrow on any night is a dangerous thing, but Barrow on a Thursday night after the Becca, that is, it's a tough. And also, we've got to remember the fact that our players have not been training for 2 weeks. So,
yes.
Yeah, the FA Cup is going to be interesting this year.
It is indeed. Wouldn't it be nice, though, to get a third round home game against a big team and we can actually go to it? But dream on, Nick, it's never going to happen. Not that we get to the third round, but fans will be allowed in. Anyway, yes, hope you enjoyed watching those games along with us. All that is left to do, Stu, is just quickly, if we can, go through whose nine is it anyway.
Can I just quickly say, we were talking about Anthony Wordsworth.
Yes.
As we are recording on a Friday night, he has just signed for Barnet.
Can you believe it?
Oh, is birding or what? How freaky is that? Yeah, he's
Barnet scouts are listening into our conversation somehow.
And don't Barnet have a FA Cup tie against a certain team? I swear they drawed.
I think they do.
That's why he's signed. He's got that old needle, isn't he? He's got the old needle.
He wants to play against them and cause an upset in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that he's got a club because there would have been a number of clubs lining up for him if it wasn't for COVID and all that sort of stuff. That's good.
He will boss that division by an absolute mile.
But that's the question: why he didn't stay with us?
Well, yeah, true, very true. Oh well. Anyway, right. Whose nine is it anyway? Very quickly, Stu. Number 12 this week, just because.
Okay.
I know. 93-94, who was number 12?
Number 12 could have been anybody. Well, of course, it could be anybody because that's the idea of it. I don't know. I think I'm going to do well to get anything out of this one. Number 12, 93, 94. Let's go for Peter Fear.
Okay. 99, 2000?
99, 2000. That'd been the. I'm going to go for Trond Anderson.
Interesting choice. And then 2011, 2012.
2011, 2012. Crikey. Christian Johnny.
Well, Stu, you have got 1 out of 3.
I have a feeling it might be Trond.
No.
Is it not?
It's Christian Jolly.
Do you know what? This will make you laugh. I actually was quite confident with Christian Jolly because I used to always think he had a really weird squad number.
Okay.
I couldn't. Well, was it a squad number? Did we have squad number? Yeah, we did, didn't we? What was
Cool, yeah, he's number 12. How else would he?
Yeah, of course.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I'm quite impressed with Christian Johnny. The Trond Anderson one, I just randomly thought he definitely wasn't in the single digits.
Sorry, Stu, but of all the Stewisms we've had in the history of this show, questioning whether number 12 was a squad number or not is surely the best of them.
I know number 12 years ago used to be a sub, didn't it?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be allocated to one particular individual. So, yeah.
Just very quickly, way off topic. Apparently, the EFL are going to agree to 5 subs any day now. Apparently, for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Another reason for me not to watch football. Just
have we got enough players? Have we got enough players to put 5 players on?
Well, that's also true. No,
Yeah,
we don't. Is the honest answer. The other 2, by the way, Neil Ardley was 99-2000.
Oh, give in.
The man, the myth, the legend, Neil Ardley. And 93-94, Steve Anthrobus.
Oh, mate. I used to like Steve Anthrobus. I used to love Steve Anthrobus. I think he went to Shrewsbury, after us.
I don't think I ever saw him play.
Steve Anthrobus. Do you know what? It's like when I first started going to watch Wimbledon, they obviously had Fash and then Brian Gale, Steve Anthrobus. It was just, big, strong players. Typical Wimbledon style in those days, do you know what I mean? Bypassed the midfield. But yeah, cool. I'm quite pleased with the Christian Johnny. I didn't think I'd get any. When he said number 12, I was like, yeah, I'm going to laugh.
I just think when I hear Christian Jolly, I just think of like a local parish getting a minibus down to Margate for the day.
You know what? He was a nice guy, wasn't he? He was such a nice guy, Christian Johnny.
Yes.
My wife, Lorraine, absolutely adored Christian Johnny. But you know what? I think when we look back at AFC Wimbledon players, we all look back at some and go, they had a wasted career in terms of they should have gone further, do you know what I mean? Maybe into League One or the Championship. And Christian Johnny, at some points, he was unplayable, but I don't know what happened to him in the end.
Well, if anyone knows what Christian Jolly's up to these days, please let us know. Tweet us at 9YRS Podcast. But that is it, Stu. That is it for us this week. No football to discuss, but fun watching those games back, and we might well do that again next week with some other games. Maybe we could even ask our patrons, patreon.com/9YRS Podcast, which games they'd like us to do that with. We could do that. Anyway, we can talk more in the coming days. So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
No, it's really weird not watching. George, that's actually, I don't know about anyone else, but that's actually been quite enjoyable to watch games of yesteryear, just because that was what normal was. So yes. I quite enjoyed that. A trip down memory lane.
Always good. I always love a bit of nostalgia. Nostalgia is the only thing that's as good as it used to be. And on that note, listeners, I will say thank you for joining us. Stu, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
What do I say? Alexa Bliss. Yes, of course. Sorry. Alexa Bliss back. First milk last. 2 + 2 = 4. We will speak to you again next Friday.